Although Nintendo has provided us with these classics for all generations, I've heard the internet storm over both sides on how Nintendo handled this collection. And we'll get into opinions later. Whether you agree with the decision or not, the collection is out, allowing us to look at Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. I will be making 3 separate videos on each game, but for now, let us focus on Sunshine. And to do that, we gotta do a port versus port, a video series highlighting the differences and similarities of the vanilla and port versions of a singular title. The video will be quicker than usual since there's not much to cover on Sunshine, but long story short, this collection is an emulation package. Alright, let us dive in and soak this up. Released in 2002, Sunshine was the natural sequel to Super Mario 64 after the unfortunate cancellation of Super Mario 128. Sunshine throws the player into the bright and colorful Delfino Isle that has been vandalized by Shadow Mario. Mario is then thrown into jail and sentenced to clean up the island's mess he never made. The art style of Sunshine has stood the test of time at 480p using a progressive scan. No widescreen exists for this game outside of emulation, and the game is kept at 30 FPS. Fairly standard information on the Gamecube, but what do we have to say about the Switch? For the first time outside of the Gamecube release, Sunshine is now on a new platform with a very well-known face. To put it simply, this collection is 3 emulated games in one package. Finally, after years of being exclusive to the Gamecube, Sunshine has been ported to the Switch through emulation. This was confirmed by Twitter user Oatmeal Dome, who mentioned emulators were created by Nintendo of Europe. With his sources indicating the development of the collection started in about February, it makes sense for Nintendo to include these in an emulation package. But are there any improvements that justify purchasing this collection on the Switch? The answer depends on who you ask. The advertised features of Sunshine are 16:9 aspect ratio at 30 FPS, and the collection lives true to that statement. There is more screen real estate to work with, which is always a welcome change, but the fidelity runs as expected. The aspect ratio translates to cutscenes as well, but not in the way you think. To take advantage of the 16:9 aspect ratio, the cutscenes need to be cropped to fit the entire screen. This is a technique used predominantly translating some games with 4:3 aspect ratios to 16:9, such as Resident Evil Collection. While opening the package of 3D All-Stars, booting up Sunshine, I thought to myself, how would Nintendo handle the analog trigger feature of the Gamecube controller on the Switch? The Switch Pro controller's digital inputs remedies this by how long you press the button, in contrast to the Gamecube's analog, which dictates how far you press the trigger. You can see a comparison here as to how the analog triggers work in contrast to the digital to the Switch. The change to digital triggers affect how you shoot water while moving or standing still. R has been mapped to shooting water in place. This is particularly useful for those piranha slimes or any other enemies. ZR has been mapped to shooting water while moving, allowing you to attack enemies like Shadow Mario. This new controller layout changes the experience for me as I'm used to using the analog triggers, shooting short bursts of water at enemies, so it will take some time to get used to. There were other nitpicks that bothered me as well when I started recording. For starters, I bursted out laughing when I found out the Flood tutorial had horrible audio editing and edited out the button names. Here, take a listen.
Use the button to shoot water from my tank. To refill tank, enter a body of water and press the button.
Switching your nozzle from the default to hover also still has the original Gamecube button and has not been changed to reflect the current layout. This is pretty ironic considering Gamecube controllers are confirmed to not be usable with Sunshine. An ironic twist of fate. Since Sunshine is on a Switch, how does the handheld mode run? I can safely say that handheld mode is a very solid experience. I may have noticed a few frame dips during Delfino Plaza on the rooftops, but loading up levels like Bianco Hills was a thrill to take. The novelty of the Switch on the go never ceases to amaze me, and this is one experience I'm glad to take on the go. But how do you guys feel about the experience so far? In classic port versus port fashion, here is a side-by-side comparison of the Gamecube and Switch version. No audio will be played due to copyright. Let's roll that comparison clip. And that should be it for the port versus port of Super Mario Sunshine. I have seen a lot of people talk about this on Twitter and a bunch of different social medias, and I absolutely get why a lot of people are upset with this collection. And it makes sense. Nintendo has had a trend of having quality of life features added on to older classics and re-releasing them in collections. And to kind of see that not really in, Super Mario 3D Collection, I get it. Like, I absolutely get why people are flustered because Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, they could benefit from quality of life features to make the game more accessible for a newer generation. But the fact that, Nintendo did the bare minimum of emulation, it rubs people off. The emulation is actually pretty good, and I'm pretty sure people will be content with it because it runs fine. But I can really see why people are upset. I'm kind of fence-sitting this one, but if someone out there tells me, Nintendo's being lazy or they're not working as hard as they could, I get it, and I agree with them. But I think considering what's going on with the world and COVID, it makes sense, So it's a funny half and half situation. But what are your guys' opinions on this? Do you feel like the 3D collection is good? Do you feel like it's not? I'm going to be covering Super Mario 64 actually very extensively. I have a guest who's going to be coming in very soon, so I'll post that when that port versus port comes. It's going to be every single version of Super Mario 64, but I wanted to cover Sunshine quickly since there really isn't that much. If you want to follow my socials, everything is down below. Kelphelp OG on my Twitter, everything is down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you'll look forward to Super Mario 64 when that port versus port comes out, and I'll see you very soon.